I think the biggest issue that we've seen in the last couple of weeks with him, Joe, has been that data center issue. He is all in. He is just parroting whatever Donald Trump says, that they're gold mines. They are all in. And quite frankly, what was stunning to me, he basically said that all of these communities and all of the concerns that we're seeing in Alabama and really across the country, all of those concerns are bull crap. That's his words, not mine. They're bull crap, that they are all emanating from China on social media. So that has really set him back a little bit. He's getting a lot of heat for that, and just about every quarter, because it's a big issue here. These things are running up, and he is, he's just going to let Alabama become the dumping ground for data centers, these hyperscale data centers that we're seeing popping up all over the place right now. And people are up in arms about them. They don't have the transparency. They're concerned not just about their power company bills and the rates and the water. They're concerned about the quality of life. That's such a, we've got the one going up here in Birmingham, not far from here. Joe, that thing is as big as 7 or 8 Walmart supercenters. Okay. That changes the complexion of entire neighborhoods and communities and in any area where they are put. So that is a big issue, and he is locked in on it, all in. The president signed this order the other day to promising not to make ratepayers pay for it. And that's an interesting concept, because to them, it's all about money. And if they can say that they'll save ratepayers, they don't give a damn about the quality of life or anything else that people's concerns. They just want to try to make sure that financially people are not going to get hurt. But these big tech bros are going to make $1 bazillion off of Alabama and everybody else if we're not careful.
Well, they could pledge that they'll pay for the electricity, but with Montgomery giving them tax incentives to build them and no guardrails to make them do that in Alabama, none.
Right.
I think Sean has some video of Tuberville on data centers. Sean, do you have that?
27 states that already said, "Oh, we're not going to build data centers. We're not going to do that. It makes too much noise. It's going to ruin the climate." Bull crap. I mean, they're listening to all this nonsense they see on social media that's coming from China, because China does not want us to grow.
It's like, that's my favorite part, actually, is accusing the people of Alabama they're listening to China too much. Yeah. Now, I've been down there with you, Doug, and I don't think there's a single person in Alabama who listens to China on anything.
No, not at all. I mean, but that's his, but Joe, as you saw from the speech I gave last week, and I hope for those that may be interested in the campaign, find the link to that speech, because it really sets out our vision for things. And I think it's a bigger vision than just Alabama, because especially in the South, we see so many times where these folks get elected, they go down to the state capitol and they lose sight of who sent them there. And they just talk to the big money interest and the tech bros and the billionaires. And that's who they listen to. And that's what's going on. Everything is done in secret. Nobody is listening to China, but all of this stuff just starts popping up without talking to anybody. And that's what we're doing. We've called for a moratorium on this for a year, to put some guardrails up, to protect communities, to put communities first. And again, we're talking about hyperscale data centers that are going to run 24/7. We don't need to be giving tax abatements to these things. They're going to make $1 gazillion if they get up and running. And we're not competing with these things with China. We're not even competing with other states. Some communities will be okay with this, and they will have their own incentives. But we need, and when I say incentives to make sure that these data center groups are paying into the communities, not that the communities are paying them to come there, but they need to be investing in these communities. And that's what we're calling for the moratorium about, to make sure that the quality of life in all of these communities is protected. And importantly, it's known on the front end.
Yeah, no, I was there. We two of us with a couple others, Alex, I think, went over and looked at the one in Birmingham that's going up. That thing is, acre after acre after acre after acre. It's not just the water and the energy, but it's hunters and farmland and other, I mean, not just there, but in other places in the state that are going to be impacted by this. And it's all, but Montgomery is, gas pedal, tax incentives if you want to build them. And Tuberville's taking their money and calling anybody, basically any of the concerns, bull crap. It's just, it put that with what hell of a week with the Social Security scam.